Hello student, welcome to the lecture of Sulagna Higher Secondary School. Student, today we will discuss about some problem related to previous lecture I have taken, and also today we will discuss about point charge, Coulomb's law, the scalar form of Coulomb's law, and some important point about Coulomb's law. So let's start with the lecture. तो स्टूडेंट, आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे कुछ प्रॉब्लम, कुछ क्वेश्चन बेस्ड ऑन द प्रीवियस लेक्चर. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. द क्वेश्चन इज टू इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज्ड बॉडी x and y attract each other. Okay, it was given that two electric charged body x and y attract each other. Electric charges body y and z repel each other. Okay, if x and z body are held close together, they will attract, repel, not affect each other. Information insufficient. So based on the question, I will solve this. So I will take two conditions, x body and I will take y body. When they will attract each other, when I can say x is positive, y is negative. I can take this case, or I can take x is negative and y is positive. So I will take two cases. One, x is positive, y is negative, or I can say x is negative, y is positive. In these two cases, they will attract each other. Okay. Accordingly, he told that electric charges y and z repel each other. Y and z repel each other. If I will take case 1, then y is negative. Okay, then z definitely z will be negative. That's why ये होगा attract, ये होगा repel. Y and z repel each other. In the second case, case 2, y and z repel each other, means definitely I have taken y positive here, case 2, and if y positive, that means z must be positive, then only they will repel. Okay, ये केस हो सकता है और ये केस हो सकता है. ये होगा तो ये नहीं होगा, ये होगा तो ये नहीं होगा. If x and z body are held close together, they will see x and z. Here x and z कंडीशन आ सकता है, नहीं तो ये कंडीशन आ सकता है. देखो केस 1 में x क्या लिया हूँ प्लस y, z क्या लिया हूँ नेगेटिव. देन इन केस ऑफ केस 2, x इक्वल टू negative and z equal to positive. In both the case, they will attract. Why attract? Because unlike charge. Why attract? Because unlike charge. So option A is right. Again I am telling, two electric charges body x and y attract each other, means I have taken once case 1 x positive y negative and case 2 x negative y positive. Electric charges y and z repel each other. Repel means whatever the charge y contain, definitely z must be same type of charge. So I have taken z negative. Here y I have taken positive, that's why z positive. So they will repel. As they are like charge, they will repel. Then it was asked that if x and z body are held close together, they will. Then xz opposite charge, they will attract. Xz opposite charge, they will attract. This is the concept of question number 1. Coming to the next question, a glass rod is rubbed with a silk cloth. The glass rod acquires a charge of 19.2 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. This is the question. Find the number of electrons lost by the glass rod. See, if glass rod acquires the positive charge, means it was observed that electron is removed. Definitely, if I will say if I will say this is glass and it is neutral, but after rubbing, neutral means n number of electron and n number of proton. After rubbing, some electron is transferred to silk cloth. Silk previously neutral, then let's say n number of electron is transferred, means now the number of electron present in the glass is small n minus capital N. Okay, so the glass will lose the electron, means the proton, number of proton, excess proton is larger, the number of proton is larger as compared to number of electron present in the glass rod. It will accept electron, means the electron number will increase here and proton remains same. Right? Silk will accept electron, so electron number will increase and proton remains same. Glass will release electron, that's why it will become positive charge, the number of electron will reduce. So the glass will acquire the charge of 19.2 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Find the number of electron lost by glass rod. Okay, so see the charge acquired by the glass rod, I answer, the charge acquired by the net charge acquired by the glass rod, that is positive 19.2 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. According to quantization of charge, Q equal to how much? What? N into E. Okay, so I can write N, number of electron transfer or number of excess proton on the glass surface. Number of electron transfer or number of excess proton on the glass surface, I can write N equal to 19.2 into 10 to the power minus 19 divided by 1.6 into 10 to the power 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. That's I will find 12. Means 12 number of electron is transferred from glass to silk. Okay. Then coming to the next part. Find the negative charge acquired by the silk. See, I have told one point that the charge, the electron transform from one body to another body. So one body get positive charge and another body get negative charge. So how much charge, positive charge acquired by the body, given that 19.2 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. That means definitely that much of charge, negative charge acquired by the other body. Means if the glass will acquire 19.2 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb of positive charge, definitely the silk will acquire minus 19.2 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb of negative charge. Okay, initially neutral. After the rubbing, the silk will appear minus the charge of for silk equal to minus 19.2 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. The silk will appear that much of charge. Is there transfer of mass? Then going to the next part. Is there transfer of mass from glass to silk? See, I am telling that this is glass, this is silk. Electron is transferred from glass to silk. How many number of electron? 12 electron. 12 electron is transferred from glass to silk. Definitely 12 electron mass, 12 mass of electron is transferred from glass to silk. तो ग्लास का जो मास होगा वो क्या होगा? रिड्यूस होगा. सिल्क का जो मास होगा वो इंक्रीज करेगा, क्योंकि 12 नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन मास विल इंक्रीज बाय सिल्क एंड रिड्यूस्ड बाय ग्लास. So the third part of the question is there transfer of mass from glass to silk? Yes, there is a transfer of mass. Why? Because electron is transferred from glass to silk. That means 12 number of electron mass is transferred from glass to silk. So there is transfer of mass from glass to silk. Okay, coming to our next question. Question number 3. It was given that object A, B, C are 3 identical insulated spherical conductor. Originally A and B have charges of 3 millicoulomb. MC means millicoulomb. Okay, so I will take A and I will take B. तो A का चार्जेस क्या होगा 3 + 3 millicoulomb. B का चार्जेस क्या होगा +3 millicoulomb. Okay, these are the charges of A and B. Whereas C has a charge of -6 millicoulomb. So I will take another body, okay, which has a charge of -6 millicoulomb. Okay, -6 millicoulomb. Object A and C are allowed to touch, then they are moved apart. If I will touch A and C, if I will touch A and C, if I will touch A and C, then it has charge. This is A, this is C. It has charge 3 millicoulomb, it has charge -6 millicoulomb, and I will separate it. A and C. Okay, then what charge acquired by A and what charge acquired by C? The charge transfer takes place between C and A. As C is negatively charged, A is positively charged, so electron will transfer from C to A. Then A will acquire 3 minus 6 by 2 millicoulomb of charge. A will acquire 3 minus 6 by 2 millicoulomb of charge, means -3 by 2 millicoulomb of charge. Definitely, that is A is acquired -3 by 2 millicoulomb of charge. Definitely C will acquire same -3 by 2 millicoulomb of charge. That's equal to 3 minus 6 by 2. Okay, that is the charge of C and that is the charge of A. Initially A was positive +3 millicoulomb charge, but after touching, initially A was positive, after touching it will get negative charge of -3 by 2 millicoulomb. Okay, then next part are moved apart. Object B and C are allowed to touch before they are moved apart. See, now C has charge. Now C has charge -3 by 2 millicoulomb and B has charge +3 millicoulomb. Now I will touch B and C. So charge sharing takes place B and C. Then I will remove B, make them apart, and C. Then what will happen? Now B and C. Then B will acquire 3 minus 3 by 2 by 2 millicoulomb of charge, and C will acquire same 3 minus 3 by 2 by 2 millicoulomb of charge, means it has charge of 3 by 2 means 0.5, 3 minus 0.5 means plus 0.5 by 2, 0.75 millicoulomb. Also C has get the charge of 0.75 millicoulomb. Okay, so here see A will achieve a charge of minus 3/2 millicoulomb, means that equal to minus 1.5 millicoulomb. B has a charge of plus 0.75 millicoulomb and C has a charge of 0.75 millicoulomb. Now going to towards the question. If object A and B are now held near each other, they will A and B. Now see, object A has negative charge, object B has positive charge. They will attract or repel? You tell me. Unlike charge attract each other. So object A and object B held nearer to each other means they will attract. Okay. Going to our second question. If instead object A and C are held near each other, they will. Okay. See, A has negative charge, C has positive charge, they will also attract. B and C will become positively charged, A will become negatively charged. So A, B attract, A, C attract. ओके, अब हम स्टार्ट करेंगे नेक्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज, दैट इज फोर्स बिटवीन टू चार्ज, दैट इज कूलम्स लॉ. सो फर्स्ट we will know about the statement. Coulomb's law states that the force of interaction between 2 point charges, 2 point charges, 2 point charges. So I will first discuss point charges. So let's see. So I can say the point charges is it is a small charge having very small dimension. A charge having very small dimension is called point charge, or it is also called test charge. So you have to remember, very small dimension means you can say 1 coulomb of charge, 2 coulomb of charge, minus 5 coulomb of charge, minus 5 microcoulomb of charge, very small, small in size. That's you have to remember that it is a point charge, not I am taking a object. Okay. So going to the statement of Coulomb's law. So the law states that the force of interaction between 2 point charges is proportional to the product of magnitude of the 2 charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. Means according to the statement, it was told that F, okay, the force of interaction between two, जैसे मैं बोला था, like charge repel each other, unlike charge attract each other, means two charges will apply some force. That force is called that force is given by scientist Coulomb. So I can write this force according to Coulomb's law. Force F is proportional to magnitude of two charges. Let I am taking here 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 and distance between them is R. Then according to Coulomb's law, force is proportional to the product of magnitude of two charges, and also force is inversely proportional to square of distance between them. Force is inversely proportional to square of distance between them. That defines the Coulomb's law. Or I can mathematically write it, F is proportional to Q1 Q2 by R square, or I can write this F equal to C Q1 Q2 by R square. Okay. So here I have taken the diagram. 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 separated by a distance R. According to the statement, mathematically I will write F is directly proportional to Q1 and Q2, and also F is inversely proportional to R square. Then I can write F is proportional to Q1 Q2 by R square. Then I will write F equal to C Q1 Q2 by R square, where C, what is C? C I can say this C equal to proportionality constant, or I can say electrostatic force constant. Okay, I can see the C equal to proportionality constant or electrostatic force constant. This is the Coulomb's law. So जैसे कि आप लोग पढ़े होंगे, जैसे if there is two mass separated by a distance let r, then there is a force called gravitational force, that is G m1 m2 by r square. So depend on the inverse square of the distance between two masses. Similarly, in case of electrostatic force, I can say F equal to C charge q1 charge q2 by r square, the distance between two charges. So where C is the constant, electrostatic force constant, and G, you know that in the first class you have studied about that is gravitational constant. Okay, so here I have taken so if the gap between two charges is free space or vacuum, then C is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, which is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square Coulomb to the power minus 2. How it was possible? See, let's say I am taking a charge here. Okay, I am taking another charge here. So this charge q1 will attract the charge or repel the charge of q2. It will give force on a single line, but this charge q1 will apply force in all the 720 degree angle. All the 720 degree angle, how is it possible? See, this is a plane. If I will take a charge here, then this all around the charge I will say 360 degree. Then how 720 degree? 720 degree means I am not taking the charge on this plane, I am taking the charge on space. Space means space around a point is 720 degree, that is equal to 4 pi. So total space around a charge is 4 pi, but I am applying, I want to find out the force on a single line. So I will take here the constant is 1 by 4 pi. Why? Because I want the force on a single line, not on the 4 pi direction, 4 pi angle. Okay, that's why I have taken 1 by 4 pi. And what is epsilon naught? Epsilon naught is the electrostatic, epsilon naught is the absolute electric permittivity. Absolute electric permittivity of free space. Absolute electric permittivity of फ्री स्पेस. जैसे हम मीडियम चेंज करेंगे तो एप्सिलॉन नॉट नहीं रहेगा, वो कुछ अलग हो जाएगा. जैसे उसका वैल्यू है तुम्हारा स्पेस, तुम्हारा 8.85 इंटू 10 टू द पावर माइनस 12 कूलम स्क्वायर न्यूटन इनवर्स मीटर टू द पावर माइनस 2, वो है एप्सिलॉन नॉट का वैल्यू. और यू कैन से द कांस्टेंट, द इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फोर्स कांस्टेंट, दैट इज सी इज इक्वल टू 1 बाई 4 पाई एप्सिलॉन नॉट, जिसका वैल्यू है 9 इंटू 10 टू द पावर 9 न्यूटन मीटर स्क्वायर कूलम टू द पावर minus 2. So you have to remember this part and also this part. C is electrostatic force constant, whose unit is Newton meter square Coulomb to the power minus 2. Epsilon naught is absolute electric permittivity of free space. Absolute electric permittivity of free space. Then I can write the previous formula. जैसे F इक्वल टू सी था, तो सी के प्लेस में मैं क्या डाला, 1 बाई 4 पाई एप्सिलॉन नॉट Q1 Q2 बाई आर स्क्वायर. दैट इज द फोर्स बिटवीन 2 पॉइंट चार्जेस इन एयर और वैक्यूम. इफ आई विल प्लेस दिस 2 चार्जेस ऑन ए मीडियम, एनी मीडियम अदर देन एयर, इफ आई विल प्लेस दिस 2 चार्जेस एनी मीडियम अदर देन एयर, then I will write force, electrostatic force, this is electrostatic force on any medium is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon. This is epsilon, means I can say permittivity, electrical permittivity on the of the medium Q1 Q2 by R square. This epsilon is equal to absolute electrical permittivity of medium. So this equation number 1, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square, that is electrostatic force due to 2 point charges Q1 Q2 placed in vacuum, and also electrostatic force due to 2 point charges Q1 Q2 separated by a distance r placed in any medium. These are the two equations which is called Coulomb's law in स्केलर फॉर्म. ये कब एप्लीकेबल होगा, ये फॉर्मूला कब एप्लीकेबल होगा, जैसे कि हमको डेफिनेटली एक Q1 Q2 को पॉइंट चार्ज लेना पड़ेगा. नहीं तो एक चार्ज बॉडी वो फोर्स अप्लाई नहीं हो सकता है, वो डिफरेंट पार्ट होगा. बट हम दिस Coulomb's law will applicable only for the point charges that I can say Q1 and Q2. Now we will discuss about another term, relative electrical permittivity of medium. This relative electrical permittivity of medium is represented by epsilon r, which is equal to epsilon by epsilon naught. What is epsilon? You know that absolute electrical permittivity of medium is epsilon. Absolute electrical permittivity of free space is epsilon naught. This ratio is called relative electrical permittivity, or that is equal to K, or this is also called dielectric constant. Or I can write epsilon r equal to epsilon by epsilon naught, which is equal to K. Or I can write also force in air divided by force in medium. That I have derived from equation 1 and 2. Force in air by force in medium. Okay, that is called dielectric constant. H, it is the ratio of absolute electric permittivity divided by absolute electric permittivity. So it has no unit, no dimension. I have written here, it is unit and dimensionless quantity. The value of K, that is dielectric constant, the value of K, or you can say epsilon r, that is dielectric constant, varies in different. In vacuum it is 1, in air it is 1.006, in glass it is 3 into 10 to the power 4. It was observed, you have to remember this. In water the value of dielectric constant is 81, and also in conductor case it is infinity. You have to remember that. Then we will go to the dimension of C. What is C? C is the electrostatic force constant. And what is epsilon naught? I have told previously, epsilon naught is the absolute electrical permittivity of free space. So if I will write the equation F equal to, from equation 1 I will write F equal to C Q1 Q2 by R square, then C equal to F R square by Q1 Q2, and I want to find out its dimension of electrostatic force. That I will give the dimension of force, I will give the dimension of distance R, that is L square, R square is L square, and Q dimension is 80, Q dimension is 80. So you will get the dimension m1 L to the power 3 T to the power minus 4 A to the power minus 2. This is the dimension of C, electrostatic force constant. And I know that this C equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. This 1 by 4 pi is dimensionless. So here I will write epsilon naught equal to 1 by 4 pi into C. As 1 by 4 pi is dimensionless, so I will find the dimension of epsilon naught equal to 1 by m to the power 1, L to the power 3, T to the power minus 4, and A to the power minus 2. That's equal to m to the power minus 1, L to the power minus 3, T to the power 4, and A to the power 2. This is the dimension of epsilon naught. And also there is some note point for Coulomb's law that we have to remember. The first point you have to observe that definitely the distance between two charges must be greater than or equal to 10 to the power minus 5 meter, means Coulomb's law is not valid for distance less than 10 to the power 15 meter. Coulomb's law is not valid, means you have to take the distance between two charges greater than 10 to the power minus 15 coulomb. Second point, electrostatic force are comparatively stronger than gravitational force. Why? Because if I will hold this pen, the gravitation of the earth will not attract. I will hold this pen, the gravitation of earth will not attract this pen. That's why I will tell that as I am holding this pen means this is a electrostatic force. The gravitational force will not attract this pen means I can say electrostatic force is greater than gravitational force. And third point, Coulomb's law is applicable only for point charges that I have told previously. And last point, it obeys Newton's third law means I can say if there is two charges Q1 and Q2, then I can say force on Q1 due to Q2 is equal to force on Q2 due to Q1 or equal force opposite act opposite direction, जो हम डेरिवेशन ऑफ कूलम्स लॉ इन वेक्टर फॉर्म डिस्कस करेंगे तब पता चलेगा. And also it is a conservative force. That's all about the scalar form of Coulomb's law. You have to remember some points, some unit, some dimension. Okay, thank you. Keep watching.